Welcome to today's lecture on DLCO equipment operation and maintenance. The learning objectives are to explain the preparation and methodology for DLCO, briefly describe the procedure of DLCO, and to be able to assess test quality of DLCO. What is DLCO? DLCO stands for diffusion capacity of lung for carbon monoxide. It measures the ability of the lungs to transfer gas from inhaled air to the red blood cells in pulmonary capillaries across the alveolo-capillary membrane. So DLCO is a measure of how much volume of carbon monoxide diffuses per minute per unit of pressure across alveolar capillary membrane. So volume of carbon monoxide is measured in milliliters and unit of pressure is millimeter of mercury. So the unit of DLCO becomes milliliter of carbon monoxide per minute per millimeter of mercury. Methodology. Almost all pulmonary function laboratories use a single breath method. There are other methods available such as intra-breath method and rebreathing method, but they are not commonly employed. One which I am going to describe and which is most commonly used is single breath method. In that, the patient is seated, has a nose clip and mouthpiece in place, and is instructed to adhere to tidal volume breathing without deep inspirations until instructed. Certain preparations are necessary before performing DLCO. They include no cigarette smoking on the day of the test. Cigarette smoke contains many gases including carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So that is going to alter the report if patient is going to smoke. So he should not smoke on the day of the test. And if patient is on oxygen, no supplemental oxygen for at least 15 minutes prior to and during the test. This is because use of supplemental oxygen can decrease DLCO by a factor of 0.35% per millimeter mercury change in arterial PaO2. If patient is getting oxygen, that is going to increase his PaO2 in the blood, and as a result the DLCO value measured will be low. So if a patient is not stable enough to stop oxygen for 15 minutes, then he is not fit enough to undergo the DLCO test. DLCO maneuvers are frequently performed after administration of short-acting bronchodilators in the interval between pre and post bronchodilator spirometry. So earlier it was told that patient should not be on bronchodilators before doing DLCO, but according to latest guidelines, bronchodilators can be given during DLCO test or before DLCO test. So the ideal time to do DLCO is while doing spirometry, after doing pre-bronchodilator test and before post-bronchodilator test, because there is a time gap of 15 to 20 minutes. During that time, DLCO test can be finished. Procedure. So during DLCO, initially subject takes tidal breathing. He exhales to residual volume, and then you are going to press a button which opens the gas mixture, and the subject inhales a mixture of air, 10% helium and 0.3% of carbon monoxide rapidly to total lung capacity in less than 4 seconds. So this rapid inspiration should be finished in less than 4 seconds. And then the subject holds breath for 10 seconds. During this time, some fraction of carbon monoxide will move from alveoli through alveolar capillary membrane to bloodstream by method of simple diffusion. And here carbon monoxide binds with hemoglobin. After 10 seconds, the subject exhales quickly and completely to residual volume. During this time, the first 1 liter of exhaled gas is discarded as it is coming from the dead space, and next liter or so is analyzed for calculation of dilution of the tracer gas and the uptake of carbon monoxide. So the concentration of the tracer gas as well as carbon monoxide is measured in the gas which is coming after the first 1 liter. Test is repeated after several minutes, and provided the two are in rough agreement, the mean will be the value reported, which is usually compared to a predicted value derived by age, height and gender of the patient. So test is done 2 times. They should be in rough agreement. Then mean of 2 values is noted, and that is the final report. And report will also give a predicted value, which is derived by the age, height and gender of the patient. So why carbon monoxide is used? Actually, we are interested in knowing the ability of oxygen to diffuse, not carbon monoxide. And also there may be concern that carbon monoxide is a toxic gas. Then why it is used? The concentration of carbon monoxide used is 0.3% here. It is far below that would adversely affect gas exchange. So there is no harm in using carbon monoxide. Further, it is selected because it is very much similar to oxygen. Both carbon monoxide and oxygen have similar molecular weights and solubility coefficients, and it has high affinity for hemoglobin, diffuses rapidly into pulmonary blood, and not normally present in lungs or blood in any significant quantities. Since carbon monoxide travels by simple diffusion, DLCO effectively measures the function of alveolar capillary membrane. This function can be qualitatively understood by using Fick's law of diffusion. So by using this Fick's law of diffusion, the rate of gas diffusion, that is equal to D into A into delta P divided by delta X. D stands for diffusion coefficient, which is a constant for a gas. A is surface area, delta P is partial pressure gradient across the membrane, and delta X is thickness of the membrane. So as the surface area of membrane increases or partial pressure gradient increases, the diffusion of gas is going to increase. Whereas if the thickness of the membrane increases, then the diffusion is going to decrease. So this is a DLCO machine by Morgan Medical Company. We are having a different DLCO machine which you all are familiar of. So just let's revise the DLCO maneuver. Initially, subject will take normal breaths about 3 to 4. This is followed by full expiration and then full inspiration and breath holding for about 10 seconds or plus or minus 2 seconds, followed by forceful exhalation. During this maneuver, subject is going to inhale a gas of 0.3% carbon monoxide, 0 to 14% helium as tracer gas, 21% oxygen and rest nitrogen. So while doing this procedure, all the instructions will be prompted in the screen itself. We just have to follow the instruction which is displayed in the screen. So a graphical representation of the same. Initially, subject is taking 4 normal breaths, then he is exhaling to the residual volume by a forceful expiration, followed by a deep inspiration which should be completed in less than 4 seconds, and breath holding for about 10 seconds, and then exhales to the residual volume. So during expiration, the initial 1 liter is discarded as dead space washout, and rest of the gas is sampled for measuring the carbon monoxide and tracer gases. And the report will include the observed values, predicted values, and percentage of predicted of, you can see in the bottom, of the DLCO, which is expressed in milliliter per minute per millimeter of mercury, and VA, alveolar volume, and ratio of this. So giving all these values are desirable. So how gases are analyzed in this machine? Carbon monoxide is analyzed by infrared absorption, and the detector has a useful life of about 10 years. So after 10 years, that has to be replaced. The detector has to be replaced. Here, the linearity of the analyzer is more important than accuracy, because the principal objective is to obtain the ratio of expired to the inspired carbon monoxide concentration. So how much of carbon monoxide that has gone in has come out. That ratio is important. That's why the linearity of the analyzer is more important. Assessment of the test quality. So there are certain criteria to assess if test is adequate. The inspiratory volume should exceed 90% of the largest previously measured vital capacity. So this vital capacity must have been measured by spirometry previously, and the inspiratory volume should be more than 90% of that. Breath hold time should be 9 to 11 seconds with a rapid inspiration, and the washout volume that represents dead space should be 0.75 to 1 liter. 2 or more acceptable tests should be averaged, and the maneuvers should be reproducible within 10% or 3 ml of carbon monoxide per minute per millimeter of mercury. This indicates that there is a rough agreement, and the subject should have refrained from smoking for 24 hours before the test. If all these parameters are met, then the test is assumed to be adequate. Equipment calibration and quality control measures specific to manufacturer should be applied and documented. So these quality control measures and calibration will be provided by the manufacturer. That should be adhered to. Monitoring. The final report should contain a statement about test quality. The final report should contain the DLCO, the corrected DLCO for hemoglobin, carbon monoxide or altitude, and the HB value used for correction. All these should be mentioned in the final report. The alveolar volume VA and DLCO by VA must be included in the report. These values are helpful for purpose of interpretation. So the references include Murray and Nadal's textbook of respiratory medicine and Egan's Fundamentals of Respiratory Care. Thank you.